overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. Fear and hatred, dull and jaded. It's all been debated and manipulated. Nothing's ever as it seems. We're bound to believe everything they scream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, in our heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're still asleep, yeah, yeah. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. We're the walking dead. We're the walking dead, dead. Oh, 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 oh. Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream. Don't you know we're the walking dead, dead, dead? Our lives were meant to be this bleak. Somehow they got into our heads, heads, heads. We're wide awake, yet still asleep. We're the walking
Going on, y'all? I definitely planned on it. Um, One in the chat said they can't hear you. Let us know when you guys can hear us. If you can even hear me say that.
Well, they can
Okay.
hear you, and now they can
Oh.
hear me. For some reason, the when I updated my OBS, it made my microphone default device not my Yeti. So you can hear me in Zoom, but they couldn't hear me. So hey,
Gotcha.
so welcome. You couldn't hear me say it, but we have a couple more people on the way, and I will repeat that it's totally my fault that we had to postpone. I had to. Well, I got an email saying they wanted to give me 30 tickets to go see the new Flash movie before it actually, 3 weeks before it comes out. And I had to do it. So I'm glad you guys can hear me. And if you've been thinking about, I can't give a review until the embargo's over, but it's worth seeing. So if you've been thinking about seeing that movie, go see it. All right. And realizing, that it could be just me, I actually have my Walking Dead trivia calendar as a backup, but Tomaj is here, so he has saved the day. I don't have to go there.
Oh, we're doing trivia today.
I figured we would do the normal 10 quick questions, and then
Okay.
we would go into, but this time use the die, because when you pick out the questions, it sucks. I mean,
I beg to differ.
well, it sucks for everyone else. Maybe not for you. Unless you want to talk about the show first. I mean,
Now we can do trivia because I know Jack and Miss Kayla, I'm sure, want to talk about it too. I think Miss Kayla just jumped in. But we can definitely start trivia.
all right. Well, before we start trivia, and here's Miss Kayla. Hello.
Hi. I'm sorry, I look a hot mess. I've been working, so I don't care how I look right now.
You look fine by me.
Thank
I was
you.
just saying it was all my fault for yesterday because I had to go see The Flash early. So
Oh my God, I can't wait to see it.
it is awesome. You will not be disappointed at all.
Oh my goodness.
But that's all I can say. I cannot give a full review. I can't say anything else.
Okay.
And Cleo's still listening to the song. I mean, it's a good song, but I know it's not playing now. Yeah, refresh your screen. I actually had to refresh mine. I don't know what the lag is. So we are going to do trivia, and then hopefully Jack will join us before the end of trivia.
Yay.
And then we will talk about this past episode of Fear the Walking Dead with June. So it'll be interesting. So let me just make sure everything's good. But prizes. You guys want to know about prizes? Well, we have the rejected prizes from last week. We saw the Here's Negan graphic novel, sealed, really nice. That is an option. They have the Merle 6-in-1. So you
Wow.
can turn his head around, and three of the faces are zombie faces. I did that.
That's cute.
And the other prize that you can choose from is actually a set of 3 because I didn't want to just use one. One we have, so it's 3 items. You have a princess can cooler, so you can have a very furry can. That didn't sound right. You should shave. You also have a pop socket with a whisperer on it. So if you like pop sockets for your phone,
I have it. I have it on mine. You can see.
there you go. See, it's in use, so you can be just like Tomaj and pick out the worst questions. And we also have the official prop replica, I think, of the friendship bracelets, or a friendship bracelet, from season 1, episode 10. I think it's what
Daryl and Carol
are wearing, so you can be friends with them. So that is all as a group. So you can choose the group, and if you have part of that group, you can always, put it on eBay. That's what you can do. So, Ms. Kayla, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, I am. I've been working a lot, had a lot going on, so I haven't had time to stream anything on my channels that much. But as you can see, I was playing Hogwarts Legacy earlier on my Twitch channel, so I'll get back to it later on.
Very cool. Well, I'm glad we have as many people here as we do, considering the last minute change of, of night. But next week we'll be back on Monday night. It'll be normal bat time, normal bat channel.
Okay.
And no, that has nothing to do with my seeing the Flash, but but yeah, it was damn good. All right, and yes, Monty 618. I actually sent out the Negan Pop yesterday in the mail, so should have it by Thursday. So. Yeah, I don't always ship things immediately. Sorry, guys. I have things to do. People to behead. It's a rough life. All right, so shall we get started? We're doing the 10-question Express Trivia.
Express Trivia.
Express.
Yep. So
I am ready when you guys are.
all right, let's start it.
Let's roll. And of course, I immediately drop it on the floor, but it is pink, which is the dead, and the card reads, what did the people of Oceanside call walkers in the surf? What did the people of Oceanside call walkers in the surf?
I don't know.
I have no idea, but
See, even when I roll, the questions are still great.
now again, let me ask you: would you have been able to answer this one?
No. This one I didn't know. But to be fair, I've watched season 7 and 8 the least out of all the Walking Dead universe. I'm just not a fan. Those 2 seasons are very painful to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
Even the chat is stumbled. Interesting.
I really don't know.
Hey, just guess a random walker name that has to do with water.
I put one, but it's probably wrong. I like. I think.
I wonder if Jack knows this one. We'll have to throw this one at him later and see. All right, you guys can hold it up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what you got.
I don't know.
I'm almost ashamed.
Dead meat and splashers. That's so funny. The correct answer is bobbers.
Yeah, I figured that out looking at the chat. But I'm an honest person. I don't. I wasn't going to cross it out and put bobbers. So,
It looks like the first person to get it was Mitchell. Congratulations.
Oh.
He really wants that that pop socket.
Isn't Mitchell like a 2-time winning champ?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope
Mitchell's
he's
like the
received all
king
those
of trivia
prizes.
currently.
He's
All
got-
right, I'm ready when you guys are.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go. We got Pink Again, The Dead, and the question reads: what did the group at Grady Memorial Hospital call walkers?
Oh my goodness.
I did know this one. The walkers are getting some love. I mean, the category is The Dead. There's only so many questions we can ask about the walkers.
There's two thoughts that I have. But I think it's this one.
Mm. You know, I didn't like the Grady Memorial episodes.
I know.
Who
We're
did?
picking like the least like popular sections of The Walking Dead and asking questions about
I did not like it.
I did remember this one though.
I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna give y'all a good 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 'em up.
Mm.
Rotters and freaks. The correct answer is rotters. So you were right, Gunna.
I was torn between that and roamers. I know someone called them roamers, but I don't quite remember who. But yeah, I thought it was
Looks
rotters.
like Amani was first in the chat. So Amani, you are on the board. Congratulations. It's a fierce competition, y'all. It's Trivia Express this week.
Welcome to the Trivia Express. Either you buy a slushie or I blow your head off.
Let's roll. Blue, which is episodes. Watch y'all get
Oh
episodes.
no.
Let's see. Okay. In the episode Chupacabra, which siblings appear on screen for the first time? In the episode Chupacabra, which siblings appear on screen for the first time? The Walking Dead Season 2.
Season 2.
Chupacabra. This is one of the few seasons. Well, I think I pretty much know most of the titles for Season 2, but I know exactly which episode this is based off that title.
I think I know what episode that is.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean one of the other siblings didn't appear before in the show. We just didn't see the other one.
So this is siblings on screen for the first time together.
Right. But that doesn't mean that we didn't see them either separately or whatever.
Right.
I could be right. I could be wrong.
All right. I'm going to give you a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold on. Daryl and Merle. What was that? Beth and Maggie. Ooh. And the correct answer is Daryl and Merle.
Yay!
No, Merle was the destination, is what the card says.
Oh, but he wasn't really in that season except in a flashback, I guess.
No, it was a hallucination.
Yeah, hallucination.
Hallucination, flashback,
chat.
whatever. Tomaj, you actually have a point because neither of us got bobbers. So it's neck and neck. We all have 1 point.
Told y'all it's a fierce competition. I love it. Looks like Amani was the first one in the chat to get it right. So Amani, you are now in the lead with 2 points, and Mitchell right behind you with 1 point. We got all different types of answers. Sasha and Tyree, Sophia and Carl. They weren't siblings. And then we got more Merle and Daryl.
Yeah, Sasha and Tyrese weren't.
No, they were season 3.
Yeah, they were at prison.
All right, let's keep it going. Green, that is wild card. Question reads: who lights the governor's pit walkers on fire? Who lights the governor's pit walkers on fire?
Gosh, now I gotta think really hard about
That doesn't mention the season. That was the Pit Walkers.
This is Walking Dead Season 3. Season 3, y'all.
I don't remember.
One
I
of my
probably
personal
killed them.
favorite seasons because we got Michonne.
And you got me. How can you not like that?
Michonne.
Oh. She killed my daughter. There's no way. You know, she's
All right, I'm gonna give y'all
I don't know.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold on.
Oh, man.
Question mark, Governor. That is way too small for me to read.
Michonne.
You said Michonne?
Yeah.
No, that is not the correct answer. Looks like I'm getting a point. The correct answer is Milton.
Milton.
Milt?
I'm glad I killed that bastard. Burned my fighters.
You're supposed to know all the governor questions, Governor.
You know how long it's been since I was in charge of Woodbury? Now I just live there, but in a different state.
You're losing a governor point. Chat. Looks like Cleo.
I can
is
confirm.
this one. Cleo, you are on the board. Someone said, I guess the bots aren't with us this week. I'm dead. That is so funny. Governor, activate your bots, please. They want some competition.
I can activate an ad after another question. Because that was question 4, right?
Yes, indeed.
Yes. Yes, it was.
So one more question, and I activate the ads. Because I
All right,
need
let's
to
roll.
make some kind of money. Because
Let's
TikTok
do it.
sucks. But
Yellow, this one is events/milestones. And the question reads, who stole the gun Rick hid in a blender outside of Alexandria? Who stole the gun Rick hid in a blender outside of Alexandria?
Oh,
So more season 5.
I'm probably wrong, but I don't know. Hopefully I'm not.
Don't just think of the moment, think of what happened with the gun. That'll tell you what your answer is.
trying to remember the individual's name.
Oh, listen. This was public enemy number 1 at the time, so I forget his name. I always know my enemies. I never forget.
It's a bad person?
Yeah, I would say so if you ask me.
Oh, wait. Oh my God, what was his name?
You ask me, I'm gonna give y'all a good 10 seconds since Miss Kayla said it.
I don't know.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me see what y'all got.
All right. I changed my answer.
The boy that shot Carl. No.
No.
Nicholas. The correct answer is Nicholas indeed. It's Nicholas who shot Glenn.
I was originally thinking it was Sam's brother, the one who shot Carl.
Yeah, it wasn't Ron. It was Nicholas.
But when you said public enemy, it's like that punk ass was never a public enemy number 1.
I also said season 5. I don't think Ron wasn't doing much in season 5.
At first,
I said public enemy number 1 at the time, which in season 5 it was Nicholas.
Traitor.
Okay.
Damn you, trainer.
All right, let's roll on to the next question. Orange, this is location. Oh wait, I forgot to tell the chat who won. Cleo looks like you.
Actually, that was the 5th question, right? So
yeah, that was
stay tuned for an ad. Ad is hitting you guys because I need to make an extra 13 cents. You know.
Okay. Listen, change ads up, y'all.
I just press the ad button and YouTube makes a decision. Yeah,
Well-
I'm still irritated at TikTok because they keep going and disqualifying my panel videos as unoriginal content.
Really?
Including the one where I'm on friggin' stage with David Morrissey showing him a goddamn puppet. It's like, how is that unoriginal content? I am the only one with that footage. So I have to do something if I'm going to actually make money on TikTok. Change some stuff.
Cleo and let me see. What is it? Cleo and
Mitchell.
Imani are tied for first place with 2 points each. Hello, Karina. We missed you on the panel.
Hi, Karina.
Karina, playing hooky.
She was booked and busy today, y'all.
All right, now we can go to question 6. I think they've had enough time to look at the ad.
All right, question 6, y'all. What was Andrea looking for in the RV for Amy's birthday? What was Andrea looking for in the RV for Amy's birthday? This is taking y'all way back. Walking Dead season 1. Amy ain't make it past the first season. It would be cool one day if they did like a what if, like Tales episode, and like if they can get some of the season 1 people back and like say, like do like a what if scenario, like what if these were the ones that survived? Like when you get like maybe Jim, Morales, Amy. I mean, I don't know how much different they look from back then, but it'd be cool. We got the ones who died instead to actually be the ones living.
I'd like to see a what if episode where I decided to take Rick up on his offer of moving into the prison.
It wouldn't have worked. Michonne would have still cut him in 2.
Yep.
He would have found a way.
Oh, Herschel would have lived a little longer. But yeah, I think it'd be inevitable that there would be a clash. And eventually somebody would end up dead. But I'm not thinking that Michonne is necessarily invincible.
Damn, yeah. Michonne is a beast.
I'm not saying she's not a skilled fighter, that she wouldn't be a challenge, but
she defies the odds. I think she would have did it. But I'm gonna give
I
y'all
almost had her, except she picked up a piece of glass and shoved it in my eye.
as she should. I love to see it. One, go ahead. Show 'em. See what y'all got. The necklace from the department store, a box / gift wrap. I'm gonna accept that answer because the correct answer was. I'm gonna accept that, Governor. The correct answer was wrapping paper.
Oh.
Wrapping paper.
Yeah,
yes.
she knew where she knew where the locket was. She wanted to put it in something.
Oh.
Erica then swooped in and grabbed herself a point. I know that's right, Erica. You are on the board.
Damn.
Erica said, I might be late, but listen, I'm here to play. You are in the competition. The highest point is 2. So it's not going to take much to catch up, y'all. But there's only like, what, 3 questions left?
4, because that was number 6.
4 questions, y'all.
So
Get on the board while y'all can.
anybody's game can still
It still
win
is.
this.
2, let's roll. Yellow, this is event / milestone. The card reads, what did Jenner call the Walker Plague? We had this question a few weeks ago, so this is
Oh my goodness.
this is a memory test. What did Jenner call the Walker Plague? For those who be here every week, this is an easy point. It's based on typing speed. If you've been here or you remember.
I'm
See what
trying to
y'all-
remember.
I don't.
Because I think he called it a couple things. There was his clinical talk about it.
I don't remember. I'm just making something up.
I'm gonna give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's see what y'all got. The end, Governor, move it over a little bit. The event. No, the correct answer is an extinction event.
Yeah.
Extinction was the key word that I was looking for. Somebody else put the event in the chat. 2 people did. Yeah, I was looking for extinction event. Imani, I'm giving the point to you. You did correct yourself after you said the event.
Yeah, I think he said extinction event, but he also called it the event for short because
It still was the first one, even with the typo. So good on you. You are in the lead, Imani. All right. Moving on. Next question. Blue of episodes. In the episode Go Getters, what did Gregory misname Maggie? In the episode Go Getters, what did Gregory misname Maggie?
Gosh, he called her so many names.
He really did. But I only put one on here, so let's see if y'all get it.
I'm guessing out of all the names that he called her.
I don't remember.
I'm gonna give y'all a good 5. Well, it starts with an M, so
Yeah.
4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. Let's see what
I
y'all
don't know how you spell it, but like
Margaret.
or the long version, I don't know.
Move it over, Miss Kayla.
Wait,
Other way.
Oh, Margaret.
So everybody put Margaret, and he did call her that, but the card was looking for Marcia. But
Marcia?
I'll accept Margaret because he did call her Margaret. So the first one with that was Mitchell. So I'm gonna give you the point, Mitchell.
Did anyone say Marcia?
No, everybody put Mitchell at the end, but everybody put Margaret. So I'm gonna do Margaret because that technically is still correct. I don't know why the card only lists 1. So Mitchell, that puts you at 2 points. Cleo, you're at 2 points. Amani's at 3 points, and Erica's at 1 point. Well, we got 2 questions left.
Was that 8? Let me see here.
That was 8. Yeah, that was 8.
So, yes, 2 more to go.
All right, let's roll. See if the leadership board changes. And we got blue again, which is episodes. And the question will read: who did Rick tell Morgan over the walkie-talkie that Atlanta belonged to now? Who did Rick tell Morgan over the walkie-talkie that Atlanta belonged to now?
Elon Musk. No, I'm kidding. It's not my answer.
That one's pretty easy, so I'm going to give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. The dead correct answer.
Yay.
First one in the chat was Mitchell. Yes. So Mitchell, you are now tied for first place. So final question. It's up between you and Amani for who gets the dub. Everybody else, answer it anyway. Well, Cleo, you could also tie, and then we'll have to continue. But, well, I guess we got to continue regardless because we got to break the tie. So if y'all happen to not get the next one right, we will do that. If Cleo gets it, it's a tie, and we'll do another one. But if Mitchell and Amani, one of them get it first, then a winner will be decided.
Well, I have the tiebreaker question in my little calendar, so we'll use that. If there is a tie.
Let's find out, All right, let's roll. Clear your keyboards. Warm up your fingers. Purple characters.
Ooh.
Easy question for all the marbles. Who did Michonne keep hunting after the Woodbury survivors joined the prison group? Who did Michonne keep hunting after the Woodbury survivors joined the prison group? Easy question.
Oh, Jack is here.
Jack gonna have to do a fast round. Trivia. All right, I'm gonna give y'all 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold them up. Let's see what you got. Governors, you put me.
Me.
That actually is the correct answer.
Yay!
Michelle Hunted, our host. Number 1 was Amani. Congratulations, you are the week's 50 winner.
All right, so let me know. You can send me a message later if you prefer which of the prize packs you want. And
Hello.
Jack, you got to do a speed round. You know that, right?
yeah, because you missed the trivia. And do that voice again, because that was hilarious.
Wait, which one?
That one.
Do I have
Answer
a, do
all
I
the
have a filter
questions just
on?
like
You
Hold
do.
on.
You sound like a fucking chipmunk. It's hilarious.
Oh, God. Hold on. Let me
No,
fix
leave that
that
on.
first.
But I want to hear that the whole time. That'd be
Yeah, while
hilarious.
you answer the questions, keep it on. That's your penalty for being late.
No. Switch back to the other one. We don't want the deep. We want the high-pitched one. So this will make it entertaining.
I want it to still be audible so you can understand it.
We can
We
understand
can
you.
understand.
Okay. I was going to say, because it can go higher, but you can't understand it if it goes higher.
No, this is fine.
All
All
right.
right, Jack, speed round. You ready?
Do you want me to write them still?
No.
No,
Just
you don't need
say
to
them,
write it. You can
because
answer
you're
all
the
of
only
them.
one. Everyone else
Okay.
already answered.
All right.
All right. Who stole the gun Rick hid in a blender outside of Alexandria?
Nicholas.
Correct.
Correct.
What did the people of Oceanside call walkers in the surf?
Oh.
Choose your answer wisely. This one stumbled everybody except
Okay.
one person.
Except
got it.
one person? They definitely Googled it. We definitely hadn't heard it before.
Do.
Wait a minute. If it's not this, then I'm probably lost on it. I feel like it's a trick one. Didn't they just call them walkers?
Nope.
Nope.
Okay.
They called them bobbers.
Okay.
You're
Oh,
one
yeah,
and
that
one.
was Rachel, right? Rachel that said that?
I think
Or
so.
Cindy. It was Rachel.
We
that
got
said
a
that.
Baba.
All right. Next question. What did the group at Grady Memorial Hospital call walkers?
The dead?
Rotters. Jack, you're in the negative. You're in the negative. That's not looking good. Not a good look on you. In the episode Chupacabra, which siblings appeared on screen for the first time?
Together.
Chupacabra?
Mm-hmm.
On screen for the first time.
On screen together. They may have appeared previously in the show separately. But we'd never seen these particular individuals
Are
together.
you looking for government or just for our first name's fine?
First names are fine.
Okay.
I sound like the expert, like I got this right or something.
Oh, I'm between two right now. I'm gonna go Maggie and Beth.
No, it was Daryl and Merle, even though Merle was a hallucination.
Oh,
I thought Maggie and Beth too, so
Who lit the governor's pit of walkers on fire?
Milton.
Correct.
Milton Mehmet.
All right, you are 2 and 3 currently. What was Andrea looking for in the RV for Amy's birthday?
I know what she got her for her birthday.
But what was she looking in the RV for?
This is a good one. This is a scare one.
while you're thinking, Kai, the choices are the 6-in-1 Merle, the Negan graphic novel, or the 3-pack of stuff, the Princess Can Koosh cooler thing, the pop socket.
Armani
and-
said the gift trio pack.
Okay. I think
And
I
they
have
said,
your
do you-
address already from sending out your thing yesterday, so I think I'm good.
All right, Jack.
She
We don't
lives
have to
on
put time.
Okay,
Walker
I'm gonna.
Avenue.
I know what's wrong. I'm gonna say a book.
No,
It was either that.
it was wrapping paper to wrap the gift.
Oh my, that's goofy. I
you're,
was
you're
thinking
in the
that
negative.
for fishing gear.
You're
Because
in
they
the
like
negative,
to fish.
sir.
Yes, I am. I'll own it. It's been a long.
All right. What did Jenner call the Walker plague?
I've heard this one before. Are you
Yeah.
looking for the quote or just
Just what he called it.
Yeah. What did he call it? His exact
our
words.
extinction event?
Correct.
That-
In the episode Go Getters, what did Gregory misname Maggie?
He is misnamed. He probably called her at least 5 or 6 different.
There's actually 2 we'll accept.
Oh. Okay. Well, I know the first time that he met her what it was, but it wasn't that. Margaret?
That's
Yeah.
the one we'll accept.
That's one we'll
The car-
accept.
The card said Marcia, but we are accepting Margaret.
Okay. I was gonna say because I know he called her Natalie when they first met. I think we've had Natalie. What are they? Because those 3 are definitely ones we've heard. Did we ever get Miranda? No, I don't think we got Miranda. It wasn't anything ever like good, like names that would have suited Maggie.
Mhm.
Yeah, he came up with some mess. Next question is, who did Rick tell Morgan over the walkie-talkie that Atlanta now belonged to?
The dead?
Correct. And final question, who did Michonne keep hunting after the Woodbury survivors joined the prison group?
Yeah.
Correct.
So you just tied with me, you bastard. But we
Did
don't
we
need a
get the same ones
tiebreaker.
right?
No. There were some
Okay.
that I got right that you did not, and vice versa. I got the gift wrap right. Because I knew she... Because she stole that friggin' locket. She's a friggin' shoplifter.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I didn't remember her being in the RV that much before season 2. But, yeah, I suppose that... Yeah, because she wasn't back that long before she only died.
Okay. If you want to revert to your normal voice, that would be fine. This
Oh,
is
yeah, totally
hilarious.
forgot I still got that on. You guys held it together through the questions.
We were still giggling.
That-
Oh. It's like electronic, too. That's awful. Not even just normal chipmunk, because there's normal chipmunk. This is not that. This is like electronic chipmunk. Let's claim this normal chipmunk.
You just went in the way wrong direction.
Oh, did it go low?
No, it was,
This
This one I can customize the pitch, so I can just be talking
And
in
dip
sentences.
like, and I think
You sound like a kidnapper.
you will leave $500,000
Give
in
us some
small
back
unmarked
feet.
bills.
Yeah, the fact
But
that like,
it's on a
slide
slide is
great
Because I can literally just go up and down.
I'll go back. I'll make it clean though because
Hey,
I know
there
it's
you
probably
go.
gonna bother some people.
You sound like yourself again.
I'll just put the clean one on so that it's not messing with any filters, even if it's a filter to make me sound like myself. So hopefully this is back to normal. If not, I'll just close the program.
You're good. Good to go.
You sound
We're ready to
fine.
talk about fear.
Woo woo.
So let's talk fear. This episode, we meet up with June.
Mhm.
But because of the previously on, we knew that eventually it would have something to do with Dwight and Sherry. I mean, it was kind of interesting to me seeing June out there and what she was doing. Basically tracking down the collectors popping them with tranquilizers and then cutting off the trigger fingers. I was just curious, what if they were lefties? That was one of my thoughts.
They wouldn't have a very good grip then, because depending on the gun you're using, you usually need both hands. And I mean, to be fair, given how much of a limited number of the population is actually left-handed, in an apocalyptic situation, that number is probably only going to go down. So it'll probably be even more low. But it's probably still out there. I think we probably have had some left-handed survivors in our time.
I'm sure. They're the only ones in their right minds. But, when you think about it, I mean, later on, and I know I'm jumping around, when she went and she shot the people who were with Sherry and Dwight and, whatever the kid's name was.
Finch.
Yeah.
What was it? Finch. The person who was with them, she looked at them and stabbed them. Did she notice they already were missing a finger? So she's like, that was your first warning. Now I'm going to kill you?
No, they drowned. Because they fell out of the boat. And so they were passed out in the water. And so by the time she got the boat back, I just assumed they'd drowned because she felt for a pulse.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was like, I'm not resuscitating.
Yeah, at first,
see what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense.
Jenna plays that Rambo role really well. All the acting in this episode, that was the other thing. Last episode, the acting was rough. Lenny was okay. Kim and Lil Mo, though, were not good. But this episode, the acting, the whole way through, even Finch was not terrible, which it's hard to find good kid actors. So I was mildly impressed.
Wasn't that Austin Emilio's son in real life?
It might have been. I thought I read somewhere that he was having... I mean, I could see that. They look very similar.
Yeah.
He had his kid on the show in season 6.
Not gonna lie. Until... probably 45 seconds after we first are introduced him, I definitely thought it was a chick.
It took me longer than that until they said, they started referring to him as a he. I was like, I thought it was a little girl.
Yeah. But I think Sherry at one point last season did say, it feels like a boy. And it's like, you definitely can't tell that, but okay, sure.
Yeah, well... I've never been overly fond of Sherry.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah.
I can't stand her.
I mean, the actress is a nice person.
Oh, yeah, and the acting isn't that bad. It's just the character's written
There have been
poorly.
moments, but I also blame the director and the editor, Why'd you use that take? Yeah, I think I'm going to start doing rants on TikTok talking about things that are so stupid in the Fear the Walking Dead. There's going to be a lot of videos.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a flashback to the episode where they go into a fucking house and they think it's abandoned, but there's no dust anywhere. It's like, catch the clues. Someone's living there, maintaining the place. Is that dumb? But last week's episode really takes the cake with Grace shooting with a handgun 3 Bitas with extra precision while driving a fucking boat that's in motion.
I mean, Daryl has had an AR on top of his motorcycle shooting before, so I mean, The Walking Dead doesn't shy away from doing weird, crazy,
ridiculous feats of marksmanship.
Yes.
I'm sorry, John Dory probably couldn't have shot those Bitas while driving a moving boat.
He could have got, I think, one maybe.
He
two,
would have had the
not
most chance. I think Grace would have probably more likely shot Madison.
Probably.
But
I've been thinking that too. I'd be too scared to shoot near people. Like, what if I shoot them? I would feel so horrible.
Well,
I wouldn't even know what to do.
In this case, Madison was about to be bit anyway, so it's like if you accidentally shoot her, you're basically saving her from getting bit. But,
But what if she didn't get bit? Then it'd be a whole thing.
There
then
was
I'd
no
be
way
a-
she wasn't getting bit at that range unless someone
Yeah.
We're like,
miraculously.
oops.
Yeah.
But let's get to this episode. So, well, first, after she's running around, she's putting up the signs, Padre's a lie, they'll steal your children, run the fuck away. And then someone's trying to, like, get in touch with her by writing on her signs.
Yep.
And then she meets the guy who, I understand his point of view. The last thing he did in the show, I don't understand that. What, he is fucking idiot? It's like, don't just do that. Just, don't kill yourself.
I mean, some people, that's what they want, and you can't really change their mind.
I would have been more like, well, they did that to my daughter. I'm going to hunt them down and kill them. I would be more the John Wick, if they just touched one of my cats or a dog or anything or looked at me funny.
Yep, I'm going for revenge. I'm not just gonna just give up on everything. But that was his sole purpose. That was what he was driven for. So I think he just lost that, and he could grieve, and that's what his mind went to. Don't know why, but it's fear.
At least he gave his girl a last meal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, okay. So, Mitchell was saying Austin's son played Dwight and Sherry's son in a flash forward part in season 6. But looks like he may have come back. Well, Amani 618 says yes, that's his real son. Ty, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
this episode I will say was better than the premiere.
Yes.
And
Absolutely.
because we saw a lot less of Morgan's sudden screwed up decision to, trust Padre and go collect kids.
Yeah, I feel like they should have waited just a few episodes for the time jump, because I'm just having a hard time understanding how they just accepted Padre for what it is for 7 years.
Yes.
You know what I mean? 7
So,
years.
okay, I might have a theory on it, and it's the only way I can rationalize it to make remotely any sense. Geographically, where they are right now, or where they were when they were getting on the boat, wasn't terribly far from where the nukes went off. And as inconsistent as it was last season, a lot of that was not a good place to be. So a lot of the surrounding area was probably pretty bad too, including all the food supply and all the water. So they may have rationalized it that there literally was nowhere else remotely close that seemed like it was sustaining life. And I don't think that necessarily makes it okay, but that's the only way that I can, because as opposed to them being like, oh, we'll go find somewhere, there's not many other places. That's why they're still close, I think, because the general area that they were in is probably still messed up from the radiation, because that's not just going to go away overnight. It's going to persist for a while and spread.
I'm guessing they're somewhere around Louisiana.
Yeah.
So, but what gets me, so June was like, first of all, I think instead of removing the trigger finger from all these people, she should have just killed them and left them in their boat. That'd be a better warning. And if she had done that, she wouldn't have to deal with the bitch at the end who she had removed a finger from.
Ooh, I don't like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped a C-bomb on her in my video, which you got to do some dastardly shit to get that.
I hope you bleeped it, because you might get a not limited.
No,
ads.
I rated myself accordingly and correctly, and I've continued to do that, and they've continuously said that I have a good track record with my ratings of myself. I never sugarcoat it. If I'm out of pocket in there, I tell them, and they're like, you know what? We respect the honesty. Keep your heads, buddy. Keep that 7 seconds. If they do get limited, though, I'll make sure to let you know, because hopefully it doesn't. But
Well, I had the Walking Dead reaction compilation, which is doing so well, and it still gets views. And after it made me about $1,000, which was very nice, they decided to limit it by limit the ads because I think it's because Cescus used the C-bomb, and I had left that in. And I even went back and I trimmed that word out, but they haven't, I'd already tried to have
limited
it reevaluate. So it's limited. So I'm making like 8 cents a day, if that. Because it still gets money. You still get money from the YouTube premium watchers. But it was doing very well, and I was like, it's horrible. So. Yeah, but there's any mentions I'm already done with the Morgan, Madison, Grace, and Baby Mo storyline. No, I also
that don't sit right with me. It really doesn't. And even I feel like parts of Dwight and Sherry didn't sit right with me either. Like I feel like June was the only one with some sense who actually left. Like there's no way I'm about to have my first kid, and then somebody sit here and tell me I can't raise them. That y'all about to raise them, and I gotta watch. No.
To be fair, Dwight and Sherry seem low key kind of like cucks a bit, and have for a while. I mean, I don't think Dwight would have stayed in the situation he was in. Same with and that's the other thing. That's one of the main reasons I hate Sherry is because it really kind of completely contradicts her comic character, the way that she feels about the whole Negan situation, because she felt totally different about it in the comics. And so that's kind of what I was expecting when Fear came around, that she was going to basically be like, no, it is what it is. And because she agreed to do it. And I totally thought that was the route they were going to, and it's not like she didn't, she suggested it, but she had a totally different tone about it, which really bugged me. And it's really hard for me to take her seriously or like her when she totally like 180'd on what she was supposed to be doing as a character. And yeah, like leaving them, especially being in the same place and not being able to raise them.
Yes.
That just seems weird. And it's one thing if you can still see them every day, because raising them is one thing, but technically with Sherry working in the nursery or the like pediatric area of things, if that was her job initially there, she would have gotten a ton of time with him right at the beginning, maybe. And then Dwight, as he got older, would have started getting the time, kind of like a separated parent situation where now he's teaching him how to fight. So he may not be spending every day with him, but he's spending the critical points literally teaching him how to survive and fight. So even though it's not typical parenting, it's apocalyptic parenting.
They can miss me with that bullshit because I'm raising my child. I can teach them all that, on the side. Like,
I'm not saying you can't or they can't, but
yeah.
I hope the radiation thing is what it is, or that they're holding back on some stuff. Because they could have just done a big rug pull too. Like they could have made them think it was larger than life. It was the best goddamn place ever. And then once they got you in, then it's like, well, kind of like the Commonwealth, that even though outside of the Commonwealth, it's far better than where it is in Fear right now. Like the outside of Padre area is still awful. But I feel like they had to do some crazy sort of manipulation or convincing over a long period of time to sort of gain the trust of them, to get them to be there. And I think that's probably why the main people that were there, or like the only people that were there at the time, other than June, because of the medical stuff, were the ones that had families and kids. Because it seems like everyone else that didn't wasn't there.
I don't know.
Well, we haven't seen. It looks like Daniel is still around, according to the previews and all the.
Yeah, but the previews, I think, because Tomaj, I know, watched them too, and I feel like we both might feel like they were misleading a bit.
Well,
like they were trying to say he was one thing when he might be another.
But I have
It's
to
hard.
give you my stupidest scene of the episode.
Oh, I think I already know what it is.
We may have the same thought, but after
I'm gonna write it down.
Dwight and Sherry turn back on the power and go up on the roof, and they know that Finch needs his fucking surgery. And the only thing keeping June from doing the surgery is they need to get back to watch the dipshit who followed them in. They stop and have a fucking conversation about their future on the roof long enough for the roof to fucking cave in. It's like, come on, your kid needs surgery. You can talk about this later. You know, you can talk about it while June's doing the surgery. But no, they decide to have this whole ass discussion, you know, on the fucking roof of a train car.
Yes.
It just, the urgency wasn't there. It's like, are you this kid's parents or what? You fucking morons. Why are you standing there talking about maybe we should do this and that? We can raise Finch on her own and we can do this and let's kiss. And then we'll fucking fall through into the, you know, the Vitus. That was the stupidest scene in the episode, in my humble opinion.
For me, it was the fact that they kept taking the guns and putting them right in people's faces. Walkers and all, knowing it could get knocked out their hand. Why? Y'all know how to shoot from a distance. I'm like, why do they keep doing that? I'm like, that was bothering me.
Well, you see, June knows with a handgun it's not that accurate. Unlike Grace, who suddenly, you know, can shoot from like 100 feet out while driving a boat.
I shoot pretty accurate with a handgun. I don't know about them, but and it was close.
I can shoot pretty accurate with a handgun when I'm standing on the range, holding it, aiming, not moving, not driving a boat at the same time.
Oh, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the train card. Like that was close.
Well, yeah, she was.
No, yeah, when she walked up towards the walker to shoot it and let it knock her down and knock the gun out, I was like, really, bitch.
That was stupid.
Like you've been winning me over this episode. Like the one character that's not being fucking stupid, and then you go do that shit. And
so is my scene the same, or are you is your scene? I mean, I would say June getting that close to the biter before, you know, trying to shoot it is probably the second stupidest scene. But you know, it was a dark place. She wanted to make sure.
Decision.
It was a dumb
stupidest
decision.
scene as a whole. I think yours is stupidest. Like single decision. I think hers, because you don't need to walk at it when it's 3 feet from you. Like
3 feet.
and she could have stabbed him as she walked in, unless they were doing the whole thing where if you get the blood on you because it's radiation. It was a whole thing. If that's the reason for not killing them initially when she walked in, I get it. Okay, whatever. But I'm wondering, thinking about the radiation, I know that they've basically just kind of written them off. If she would have done any experiments with Charlie, maybe?
Well, Charlie wasn't bit. Charlie was radiated. Adding more radiation to Charlie would not have been a good fucking idea.
No, but more so just studying, I guess, to kind of see the way that things are without the infection, so that when she was testing with the infection, she could tell the difference. Maybe, I don't know. It just feels really weird.
Before Maddie got a scene with her, I wanted them to talk about Nick.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of dumb that Alicia didn't get a scene with her either. They were an episode apart. It was fucking stupid.
I guess they figured once they got together, they wouldn't separate again, and Alicia was leaving. So, and apparently she's gone, so she got out the area. So that's why I'm like, where everybody else at? Because Alicia,
is Alicia alive or dead? I mean, it was.
That's what I want to know.
Because these showrunners, they like decide we want to give people hallucinations and have them think things aren't as they actually are, and we'll have Alicia chase her younger self hallucination around and lead people into danger because of this hallucination. You know, how many hallucinations
7 was
are we gonna
painful.
have? Yeah.
7.
There's so many things in 7.
I think they just left it open like they did with Madison, just so there's hope if Alicia wanted to return.
But it's the final season, so
they probably didn't know that at the time that they wrote it.
Right, and now that it's his final season, the last episode, Madison will be like dying, and Alicia will show up to put a knife in her head. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. This show's so bad. I'm still watching it, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Already.
I did love the June Rambo thing. You know, that was cool. I thought this is someone who's taking a stand. I would have killed the fuckers and left them in their boat, and then that would have warned off people a lot more. But then again, she'd been doing it for years. You know, it's like, I'm thinking if she killed them, then they would really make an effort to find her, but she's still maiming them. So why aren't they making an effort to find her? You know, really.
Well, I mean, limited fuel, and I feel like it showing how many times she did it in this one episode probably drastically over exaggerated the amount that she had been, or the frequency that she'd been doing it. I feel like she wasn't doing it that often. She was because it's not like they leave the safety of the compound in that capacity every day or every week. So there were probably big stints where she wasn't doing it, or she was just learning their routes first. Because it did say that she had, or I can't remember who said it, but someone mentioned that or I think it was Dwight and Sherry, that they mentioned that she learned all of their routes. So she knew who was going to be where and when, or maybe not who, but that they were going to be in certain areas at certain times.
Yeah, she listened to the walkie-talkie because there was like a point where they're like, "We got to pick up at zone 3," and she knew exactly where to go.
Yeah.
The next scene, she had some fingers. So she did.
You would think though that the pottery people wouldn't be that freaking stupid, and they would change their codes for things. You know.
A lot of villains are very arrogant, and a lot of people like monologuing, whether good or bad. I know Rick gave quite a few monologues. Negan gave quite a few monologues. The governor didn't give a ton of monologues, but a lot of villains, or just a lot of
villains.
Yeah, a lot of people give monologues when it's not necessary.
Pope.
Oh my God, Pope.
Okay, I know a lot of people hated him. I really thought that man had some potential if they would have.
He did, but they didn't write it.
Well, it was because they rushed it.
Every character on these shows has potential. But I don't know what the showrunners are doing on Fear and what the writers are doing on Fear, because they're fucking up the potential of these characters. I don't blame any of the actors.
It's all the writers in general. Lately.
There's only been a few times that the acting has been really tough to sit through. But yeah, for the most part, I definitely think it's the writing versus the actual actors themselves.
Well, I imagine that an actor confronted with a ridiculous scene does their best, but they're like, I ain't feeling this, and I'm not able to convey it as much. Plus, you got to understand, there's the editor, you know, and as we all know, since we all edit videos, your editing makes your video either good, great, or bad and virtually unwatchable. So,
yeah,
I look at some of my early edits and I'm like, oh, what the fuck was I doing? But
oh yeah, it's always painful to go back and watch and just see like a 2 or 3 second black screen because you didn't snap a clip properly. Or just you start a video, or you think you start a video at a certain time and you were like in the middle of speaking. There's all kinds of things that can go on. And the time that things are cut too.
Usually I catch most mistakes before
most of those are old ones. But
right. I catch most mistakes, but I've occasionally, like when I do these wonderful toy reviews, just to show you my new Predaking.
Ooh.
Oh my.
This is a third party 6 Predacons instead of 5. It's very cool. But most of my Transformers videos, I go back to the previous video and I cut the title and the end screens and I paste them into the new one, and then I just change the title, the text that needs to be in there.
That's exactly what I do usually.
And one time I actually forgot to change the text before I published it and didn't notice it. So someone said, "Why is it?" So then I went into the YouTube editor and just cut out the title. So it's like, hey, this one doesn't have a title, but it's better than having the wrong title.
Yeah.
Cleo pointed out something that I said in my video too. She said, "I'm still shocked the kid was able to get up and move around after being drugged up. He wasn't even groggy. He was freaking alert." I said the same thing. I'm like,
that radiation has our characters built different. I'm telling you, the radiation gave them fucking superpowers.
They're all mutants.
Yeah.
Pretty much. That's probably going to be their
That's how
explanation
Grace
for
could
it.
shoot that gut. She's got.
I was going to say, yeah,
she's
she's got
I think it's just like how the COVID babies are like super intelligent. It's just got to be because of the event going on, apocalypse.
But do you notice, not just on The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, but whenever somebody needs a medical procedure, it's always their fucking appendix. You know, that is like the most
after
used
Lost,
thing on TV.
After seeing it in Lost, people are like, "Oh, this is actually really easy to shoot and explain. So let's just do this." So literally, it's like everybody fucking does it now.
Yeah, well, we had, the woman with appendicitis in the last season of The Walking Dead when Ezekiel got the doc to come help.
Yeah.
And then they got, this. I swear there was. I guess it was. I think you just reminded me of where I saw it. I think it was Lost. Jack was trying to do an appendectomy, and the person died.
In the first two. Well, that and he needed one himself too later on.
Yeah, it's like everybody's appendix just dies on these shows, and it's like the writers don't know of any other reason why you would need urgent medical care. It's like,
I mean, it's also it's I feel like easier to shoot and easier to show versus like an obstructed bowel or like needing a valve replace. Like there's certain things that you can do in an apocalyptic or less than stable environment with minimal resources, and I feel like that's probably one of them.
So anyone,
because I mean, it's not like people are going to have their tonsils
out.
out.
We can take care of your appendicitis, but if you got anything else, you're fucked. Unless
other
you're
than
and you
cancer,
have
yeah,
and
you're good.
But yeah, if you don't have appendicitis and you have a medical problem, you're pretty much screwed.
Boned. Mm-hmm.
And Amani618 says, if you have appendicitis, you can't really walk. I mean, I could see having an infected appendix right, above your right leg would make it a little difficult. I have not had appendicitis, so I don't know.
I wouldn't call it appendicitis, but I had something going on called gastritis when I was like between 10 and 12. And it is basically having your stomach lining inflamed from eating too many acidic foods. So I was like eating a lot of tomatoes and drinking a lot of like orange juice and Sunny D and having a lot of foods that had ketchup used with them. And so it was an oversaturated amount of acidic things. And it essentially burned a hole in the lining of my stomach. And it was one of, if not the most painful things. Because there's nothing you can do to make it just go away immediately other than just not eat acidic foods until it kind of slowly heals itself. Unless you want to like going for surgery, which it's not worth going for surgery for. But I've broken bones. I've dislocated shoulders and ankles and sprained shoulders, ankles, wrists, all that stuff. I've gotten teeth knocked out when I was younger. Yeah, bro, when I did baseball and MMA and gymnastics, the amount of twisted ankles and sprained ankles I had, the amount of people that landed with cleats on my ankles.
Oh,
the smallest things in the apocalypse can just end your life because one small, like I keep thinking back to season 4 in the main show with the Sam and the chick and her having the messed up ankle, and that was all it took. And then they took her leg and just ate her. Because her ankle was messed up, and that's all it took for her to get overcome by walkers. So yeah, like the internal stuff that you can't just like put an ice pack on or do something semi in the moment about. That's gotta suck ass. Because you literally can't do anything, and it's suck it up and live or wallow and die. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah,
that's probably why they're built different.
There's a lot of people who are like, "Oh, I'd be ready for the zombie apocalypse," and the clap.
I would starve.
No.
I could handle the killing and the physical aspect of it. I would starve because I feel like I'm far too picky of an eater, or I'd get unlucky and end up with dysentery, like drinking some water I thought I boiled enough, but I didn't. Like it would. There's so many things that can go wrong. And so easily too.
All my food would be overcooked. I ain't getting any salmonella, but it's a lot of things. I mean, I have not thus far in my life broken a bone, and I am much older than you, my friend.
I broke one. Yeah, Jack's gonna be like a very elderly person in pain. Like your bones are gonna be no good when you're old.
Well, okay. To be fair. I broke 2 bones, and it was both of my pinkies at the same time.
It's
not like it's not. Well, yes, but that is why at my job, when I'm doing the loading of the trucks and everything for the last 2.5, 3 years, I've been wearing ankle braces and knee bands the whole time, and all my knee and ankle pain gone completely, and a lot of my back pain. A lot of my back pain was really rough for a while. I was getting a lot of like pinched nerves in like the shoulder blade, like neck area from all the like turning with like the boxes and stuff. And after losing a lot of the weight that I did, because when I started there, I was still probably like 265-ish. And now I'm down to like 207. And losing a lot of that weight has helped my back and my knees so much. I'm like, I never remember, like, I can't remember the last time I was this spry. And I'm like, the flexibility's coming back, and so I'm nimble. All right, I may still have some chunk on there, but there's some nimbleness to it. It's okay. We're gonna make it.
If I could actually work like loading and unloading boxes and make what I need to survive, that would probably be. I lost like a lot of weight when I was a Dollar General assistant manager. Because I was unloading trucks, stocking shelves, and it was the summer, and my store didn't have air conditioning.
We're an HVAC distributing plant, so like heating and AC units, and we don't have AC either. So today I was in one of those trucks that had like the, not fabric roof, but the roof that lets the light in. It was so hot in there. Like I had to change my shirt because my shirt looked like I had just bathed in chalk, like you use for like gymnastics and shit. Because that was the sweat that was just making the like white mark. Yes, it's the amount of sweat that I swear I come home every day and I'm like, I just want to jump in my pool.
Your dog.
Yeah, no, it's basically like being in a gym the whole shift. Kyle, like when you were loading stuff, because of how many different muscles you're using, it literally is like you're going to the gym.
Yep.
And so I ended up, because of how exhausted I usually am after my shifts, I'm like, I was trying to go to the gym like once or twice a week after my shift, but I'm like, I feel like I'm barely getting anything done there when I do go. So I'm like, I'm just going to pause it. And then COVID happened. And so then I just canceled it after the COVID stuff came back. Cause I'm like, this is basically me being at the gym for my entire shift anyway.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially because I've gone through like 4 pairs of work boots. Like I'm walking through the soles of these things, even with Dr. Scholl's in, because of all the steps. Like I think today I got what, like 20, I got like 22,000 today, or 21,800 steps today. And usually I get between 21K and 25K. So I got calves of steel right now. It's nuts.
I usually get a lot of walking in at cons, but we are getting way off the subject.
Yes, we are.
We need to get back to bashing Fear the Walking Dead.
No, let's talk about a few of the good things, because I feel like we bashed it the entire.
I have one question.
Okay.
Who is Padre? We need to find out who this Padre person, the leader of Padre.
Plot twist: it's Heath.
It's Heath.
Well, in the promo, Madison was busting the window, so I'm excited to see who it is.
Oh yeah. I think I kill the leader of Padre like ASAP, like really quick. He won't get time to try to do anything else. Like we'll kill
I
him.
think
No,
by
you know
episode
who it
6,
is.
we're gonna be done with
Who did what's his face play in the first season? Who had the knife in school?
Tobias. Let's get
Tobias.
it. I
Oh
would
my
love it if it was
God.
Tobias.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah, he
But
was like a
did Maddie
survival
dirty.
nut.
I wouldn't understand why he would do Maddie so dirty because Maddie was good to him.
Maybe because
Well-
she left him in LA when it was napalmed.
That was his
And-
choice.
Oh, I know, but people make choices and then they like to blame people for them.
Oh,
It's a very common and human thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I can't wait to see who it is.
Why don't
would
you just
be
be some
interesting.
totally unnamed person though that like none of us know,
Yeah.
Or be like a little person. It'd
Most
be
likely
played by
because
Brad
like
Williams.
a young child. I was gonna say like a young child.
No,
like
no,
Brad
it's-
Williams.
I don't know. Hopefully we get to it by episode 6 because after that I kind of want to move on.
Well, I
Yeah.
was gonna say from
So
the-
what is happening with it? They're going like 6 episodes and then stopping and then doing another
6?
because
Yeah.
it's only 12 or is it 13?
It's 12.
No, it's 12.
So
So
'Cause if
the Walking Dead main series gets a 50% larger thing, whereas they get like a 25% shorter season for their final season.
okay, so I was doing some math on this when I was in the truck today, Tomaj, because I was thinking about it when we were having the conversation about Game of Thrones and how the ending of it with it being 13 episodes versus 20. I was trying to think of what that would have looked like in terms of Walking Dead, in terms of like the percentage of the season being cut down. And that would have made it, instead of being it was like so it was like 45 episodes or so. Yeah, I think it was 45 because we had 20, or no, it was 46 because we had 22 and then 24. So it was 46 episodes initially with season 10 and 11. And then if they would have got the Game of Thrones treatment, they would have then had to cut those down exponentially. And it would have ended up being only like 29 or 30 episodes total for both seasons.
Mm-hmm.
Which
which isn't
It-
far off from
it's-
what they normally were. They were 16
no,
episode
but
seasons.
just given the story that they were trying to tell, it would have made them have to either cut a lot of stuff, rush a lot of stuff, or rewrite stuff. And so I'm hoping with the fact that Fear shortened it a bit, that there isn't really going to be much bottle episode-y type stuff. And it's pretty much just going to be like to the point, and just moving.
I think that's why they cut some of their cast because they don't have time.
Well, yeah, and I mean, to be fair, with the wrapping up of, if the show were to have continued on longer, if it had done well enough to do that, I could have seen them obviously keeping them around because they were interesting characters that could have been developed more. But the fact that they're wrapping it up, they want to hone in. So everyone that's around is going to be crucial to the wrap up or the main like end of everything. So I don't know. I'm hoping that there is some tie-in with Padre to CRM. Because if there's not, I feel like that's going to be really fucking stupid.
I'm not
Because-
even going to get my hopes up because Walking Dead didn't do it with Commonwealth, even though I felt like that's what they were going with Lance. But they didn't
Yeah,
do it.
that definitely felt like what they were going with Lance because of the conversation he had with Pamela about certain like other alliances and stable, all that stuff seemed to be hinting at it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know anymore. I just want it to end well.
I
Because
just want them to do
timeline-wise,
something with the CRM because it's like they've been hyping this story up, but what are we
I mean,
really doing?
it's
with
going to be the main focus of the Rashon show, but I feel
These
like we should
episodes,
get
though,
stuff.
We got shit to do. We got 6 years of Rick's life to get through. Michonne rescuing him, and this time we don't got time to give the CRM a ton of stories.
I don't know. That's why I feel like they're gonna end up they're gonna wrap up all the shows to like come together for like one final thing, either like a final short season of like everything together or like a movie or something. Because otherwise it's just
Yeah,
gonna
but
all
I
feel
just felt
very
like They
incomplete.
should have been telling CRM story over all the shows. Like we should have gotten a bit more. Fears gave us more than anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like they should have done just a bit more.
So
I feel like
is Al totally off the show? Like Althea just.
Yes.
it seems like it.
exited.
Yeah.
She exited the series, yeah.
Okay, because sometimes you
sucks.
can tell by the actress leaving or the actor leaving if a storyline is going to continue. If they're like, "Oh, I've moved on to other projects," okay, we are never going to see Althea and her.
But that's why it makes
boo
me
again.
feel like there had to have been a conversation about them coming back. Same with Alicia. Like, I'm not going to just let you leave and let the fate be open. You know, I'm going to have something happen to your character so that it gets an ending. Like with Denai, there was all and Rick, Andy, there was always a conversation about them coming back. So I feel like it would be the same thing for Al and Alicia. I don't know.
Alicia more so than Al, because Al, even though she's been there for like half the show now almost, I don't feel like she was a main character for that long because she was in and out a bunch. But yeah, Alicia, I feel like there should have been something more. And the fact that Alicia is now going around and like low key kind of trash talking them on like panels and podcasts and stuff kind of bugs me a little bit. Yeah.
What's she been saying?
Yeah,
She's been like, they've been talking about her like projects she's or whatever, and people joking about like, oh, or like, oh, there's zombies or whatever, and she's like, oh, thank God, no. Like basically like being that she's happy that she's out of it and done and whatever. And I'm like, I don't like that because
well, that's different than trash talking and saying these people don't know what they're doing and all that. That's what I'd be interested in hearing, but
I definitely think that that's going to come out eventually.
But I mean,
because,
talking to Ross on Walking Dead and Carrie and all that, it's like, sure, the show did a lot for them, but now they can be in air-conditioned environments. They're not like in the Georgia heat, sweating.
That's
so
one
much
thing
all
with
the
Fear
time.
I've been noticing. They are in water so much.
Oh yeah.
And as someone that has a lot of sensory issues being an ass beat, that is awful. Just thinking about sitting and filming in soaking wet clothes. Like, I get drenched enough in sweat at work. Thinking of being completely just soaking wet or just standing and having to do stuff in water when I'm not in a pool or a lake or an ocean.
Yep.
And in
This is why
shoes
they
and
get paid the
socks?
big bucks.
No. Like, I don't know if people could pay me to just walk around full clothes, shoes, socks, everything for hours. The amount of blisters and nastiness you got to be getting with all that shit. Oh my God.
I'm sure they got great health insurance.
I mean, I do too, but I don't know if I'd want to put it on the line for that.
Still,
I
I mean,
always
the
give them their
chafing
respect.
from all the sweat.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
The Walking
Yeah.
Dead
I
and-
never give anybody with these shows any type of criticism but the writers, because it's just their fault.
Oh yeah, no,
They have,
it's
everybody
rare
else
that
does
I
a decent
really
job.
come at.
Yeah.
It's really rare that I come at people for the acting. If I do, they really deserve it
Fucked up.
in my book.
Yeah, it's
But-
usually like the director, the editors, or the writers. It's usually one of those three that are to blame for the issues. Like,
or
'cause
a
sometimes I'm like,
combination.
there's no way you watched this and said, yes, this is a masterpiece. Like, that's how I feel like I should look at all my work. Like, this is a masterpiece. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't, I would like to sit in a room with these people, watch the same thing as them, and hear them say that this is a masterpiece and explain why.
I
'Cause,
feel
like,
like they do a lot of drugs, maybe. Not saying anything bad, but like they may just
Well,
smoke
aren't
a
the
lot of
showrunners
pot.
like from Once Upon a Time, and didn't Once Upon a Time?
Yeah, I
towards
heard
the end
that.
get very funky.
Not good.
The
from what
early
I've
season
heard.
of Once Upon a Time I enjoyed, but eventually I was just like, this is way too much, and I had to stop watching.
I was gonna say like I think that was brought up in the last week's one too, that it was not up to par really.
You would think that the writer's strike had happened before they shot these seasons.
Oh my god, yeah. Jeez.
It's like somebody said, well, I can write, geez. Yeah. So what were the positive things? Because we already said, June was a badass Rambo, even though I don't think she went far enough other than cutting off fingers. And I thought I thought she was pretty cool. She looked like Survival Woman, you know. I thought that was really, really good. But what other positive spins do you want to put on this episode?
The acting was pretty good.
Oh my,
Yeah, the acting was good. Yeah,
really good.
the story.
I
was
thought
good.
the set design and location choice for a lot of it. I mean, other than the train car just kind of being out in the open, but once you were in the train car, they did a really good job with that hallway that June had to go down.
Yes.
Looking like just straight out of like a haunted house,
Yes.
but like Statesville level haunted house, like really good. And like it gave off the right ambiance, and it really kind of shifted the tone, because initially you went in there and you're like, oh, they're kind of another old rundown place, but whatever. And then they go in there and you're like, what happened here?
I looked a little Resident Evil.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was a bit, and it was so dark this episode, not
Yeah.
lighting wise. Like the lighting was good considering they were night scenes, but the content and what was happening, to me, I think is one of, if not the darkest things that we've seen so far. Because yeah, there's a lot of very basic, like degenerate behavior type things that are just awful, and it's pretty surface level, like the claimers and the stuff with Carl. Degenerate, awful, but kind of basic in terms of storytelling. The stuff with Finch was so specific and so awful, and we've never seen that kind of stuff happen before. And there were so many layers to it, because not only was June there, and then it was being used as leverage against June, but Dwight and Sherry thought that it was just going to be a conversation, and they were, tied up. But then they were tied up and forced to watch it happen. And the person that it was done with was the person they were just talking to about being like helping and like not losing hope and, fighting for a few, and all that. And it did just all, I felt, came together really. Like the last 15 minutes of the episode were so good. And Dwight, or Austin specifically, like I'm not trying to discredit Christine's acting at all, because it was great, but that's a side of Dwight we have not seen. I was gonna say in a long time. I don't know if we've ever seen him that angry.
I mean,
and I'm
with Negan,
honestly
he was
kind of
close,
excited for it.
But
yeah, like when he charged at him in the season 8 finale, that just seemed more frustration and anger. But this seemed like genuine rage.
Yes.
And like when he was saying he was going to kill her, I believed him far more than I believed Rick about killing Negan.
Yeah.
Because Rick's always been cocky, and Rick's always been, he's always had that
he
attitude.
can't fight for shit.
Exactly. He's had that attitude for a while. Whereas Dwight, I don't want to say he's quiet, but he really, I don't know if soft spoken is the right word, but he doesn't always voice his opinion a lot, but when he does, he usually really means it. So seeing him kind of lose it and just go off and throw out the threats, when I feel like he really doesn't do anything more than surface level threats just in like normal confrontations, seeing him come with that level of anger and rage,
he doesn't make
was
idle
just
threats.
exactly. He doesn't make a lot of threats in general, and so having him make one that direct and that angry was great, because it leaves me really excited to see what's going to happen with that. But also what was equally scary and terrifying is the fact that she wasn't even remotely fazed by it.
Nope.
Yeah. I'm sure she's been threatened before.
But that's the thing, is it like, I feel like you can tell when people are throwing around idle threats. That didn't seem like an idle threat. That seemed like a promise. And even though Rick made all the promises he made, I have a feeling they're going to let this one be delivered upon. I think Dwight is actually going to be the one to take her out.
Rick did use the
I
red
want to see what
machete.
fucks it up.
Red did.
What?
June should have killed her when she had the chance, because June
she
had to cut her
absolutely.
finger off at him.
Yeah.
But June, I feel like, took some of John's good-heartedness and John's lack of willingness to kill. So I feel like June's never really been ruthless. I feel like this is like June.
But she had 7 years to become ruthless. She should have become ruthless.
I mean, some people it's just not in them. Some people just don't like killing people.
So one thing that May noticed, they seem to have different or better cameras or something.
Yeah.
Like in terms of what they're shooting on.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it didn't seem grainy, but it didn't seem digital necessarily.
Yeah, it just looked like, better
Crisp.
capture, crisper, and
Better
A
quality.
lot of shows have
And-
upgraded their filming tech.
When I was in school and we went on, I guess in college, we went on like a mini field trip sort of thing to a few production houses and studios and like ad agency places that had all of the latest stuff. And this was right around when 4K TV sort of started coming out. They basically, I mean, they didn't have us sign NDAs, but basically they were talking to us about a lot of other technology that they were working on and like red cameras and stuff. And they were talking about how they already had been using 8K red cameras for a fair bit of time, and they were moving on to even better quality than that. So I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the production companies, especially after the pandemic and probably being able to take inventory, see what's needs to be upgraded and what doesn't, I wouldn't be surprised if they upgraded a lot of stuff like that, because that's one of the things that whenever I go back and watch the main show that always bugs me now. As much as it's like kind of a cool aesthetic for a little bit, the graininess bugs me so much because I'm watching on higher quality stuff now. Like when I was just watching on my my TV from 20 feet away or whatever before, like just sitting on the couch, it wasn't as noticeable. But now that I'm the 1440 or the 4K monitors, the TV, whatever, and I'm like right there, it's so noticeable and it just does not look good. So I'm glad that it isn't terrible. And the color and the lighting, that's another thing this season so far. I'm very happy with that.
yeah,
Because
that's so positive spin. There we go.
yes.
I imagine their company's changed a bit since they moved production to Georgia.
Yeah.
I imagine they probably switched a few things up. That's probably why we're getting a different look. But I like it. I think the visuals. I feel like Fear's visuals have always been pretty good.
They've always been very unique.
Yeah,
Like The Walking Dead does have a lot of amazing visuals, but a lot of them are very textbook, and you can see them like if you know anything about like storyboarding and stuff like that, you can kind of see where they're going with a lot of the stuff that they do. And it's very, I don't want to say predictable, but when you see it, you're like, yeah, that like if I was trying to frame this scene or whatever, this would make sense. And it's not that the stuff in Fear doesn't make sense, but I feel like they come up with a lot of very unique and creative ways to visualize the story that they're telling. And that's, I think that's also just because because it's the spinoff and not the flagship. They take so many more creative liberties. Some of them are fucking awful, but a decent amount of them. Exactly.
You just need better writers. That's all. And the show
It's a
would be
collaboration. If some of the ingredients suck, then
yeah.
As far as like my shooting, 4K, I shoot in 4K. I render in HD, but so it comes out nice. But
Yeah.
the file sizes once you start getting into 6K and 8K are just like massive. So it's like I don't know how quickly I'm gonna be moving up and upgrading my equipment.
Oh yeah, no. I'm even hesitant to go up to 4K in my camera quality because one, not a lot of people have the devices to watch genuine 4K on anyway. And even if they do, the latency and the problems that people have with it if they don't have really good hardware or internet is going to make it not worth watching in the first place. Right. So a lot of people, and I mean, a perfect example, and this isn't me knocking on them whatsoever, but Underdog Mr. Williams, none of his videos are in HD. They're all in, at least from what I've seen as of late,
they're like
360
or
they're like 360 or 480. And even like they're still, it's not like they're super choppy or anything, but it's not HD crisp. But he doesn't necessarily need that. He everything he's trying to do and convey gets conveyed. And I feel like it all kind of depends on personal preference with like editing and stuff. Like when I'm going through and I'm like editing stuff or doing thumbnail or like whatever, and I really like to make things look nice, and so I feel like that's probably why I do it that way. But even with the webcam that I have now, like I have two just in case like one craps out, but I have the very old like stereotypical like Logitech one that is like 1080, but the focus on it's awful. The lighting and the color on it's not great. But if you just need a webcam to just be a webcam, there it is.
I think this webcam I'm using now, which I think is pretty good, it was like $20, $16. It's like an iFro, IFROO. And it just really, I'm impressed with the quality. I mean, I do have also lights. I never turned on that one, but
I was gonna say that was the other thing that I noticed when I started kind of attempting to make things look better, is that when I didn't have the lighting, it was very rough, and like even with this now, if I didn't have my key light on and if I just had like my really shitty ceiling light fan on, it wouldn't really look very good.
No, the angle wouldn't be good. It's
no,
lighting is important.
Yeah, and like it all depends on like being like if you want to be artsy with it or not, and you don't have to be. Like I have like the one side of my face like mildly shaded, but that's just because the other light I have right here isn't on. If I turn that on, then it's evenly lit, and it's like a whole. So, I really like the way that things look in this season so far. I know last season initially I was like, oh, this looks like it could be a really cool set piece, and whatever, and it did
so
not
orange.
hold up. Yeah, it was too orange. And then the season it was too blue, and then it was too gray, and so they've just really been struggling with the color, like the color grading, and just
I think
everything
they
in
spent
general.
so much time. I mean, if you are in an area that is irradiated, and it's orange, wouldn't you want to get the fuck out? Wouldn't you like just all right? Let's plot a way out of here. Let's stick together and just. That should have been their journey and people they met along the way. Like leave Strand in his little tower, Him and Howard could circle jerk each other and, just get out. And, head back to Alexandria.
I was going to say that I think that was one of the biggest mistakes in season 5. It was either season 5 or 4 where they ended and everybody thought they were going to be going to Alexandria, and they're just like, nope, we're not going to do that. I was like, what? Why?
They need to put it back on the table. I feel like we're going to get there, though. Like, eventually Morgan's going to get to King County from what we've seen to the trailer.
There's an episode called King County.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he's going to slowly start over, go over his journey, and be like, this is where we need to go back to. Like, I feel like that's going to be like the last chunk of the show.
I think it would be awesome if they actually got to Alexandria and met the Commonwealth, and basically that could be the ending of the show. They got integrated with the main show, and we could see some of our, favorite characters. Kari could show up. Ross.
Yeah, and then they want to worry about doing it later when they want to do their CRM storyline. It's already set up. Like everybody's already together. So I hope
seeing some of the reunions would be nice. Like Carol and Morgan would be cool. I was going to say
they probably only would give us a few people. They wouldn't give us seven.
Well, to be fair, a lot of the people that Morgan and Dwight had any sort of connection with are dead. Yeah. Jesus is dead. Rick's gone. It's pretty much just Carol for Morgan.
Daryl's overseas.
Daryl's gone.
Morgan knows. He knows Eugene and
Jane. But I don't even think he had scenes with them.
He had a scene with Father Gabriel.
I mean, I don't remember him having scenes with Dwight, but he's like, Dwight, is that you? He recognized Dwight.
Well, he almost killed him in the season 8 finale, because after Dwight charged at Negan and was like just hitting him with his taped up fists, Morgan was doing the whole should I kill, should I not with Jesus, and he saw Dwight like hiding against a car, and he was like about to go clear mode, and then some other savior came up and like fought him. But so I don't think he had any positive interactions with the guy. But
then he meets him in Fear, and it's like, Dwight, you're a sight for sore eyes. I've been thinking about you late at night in my bunk with my hands in my pants. But So, anything else you want to say about this episode? Good or bad?
Yep.
I mean, I enjoyed it. The last 15 minutes or so was like, wow. I really hope they can get Morgan on track. Madison helped set him loose. So hopefully he can get, he can find this group that's out there that's, making an army to fight Padre. That's what I'm wondering, if Daniel's either going to be the leader of that or a commander in that, or he's going to be the commander of Padre. I don't know who I was talking to, but there was speculation that, Daniel could have lost his memory completely. And I'm like wondering if he was in Padre, brainwashing is their thing. So it's like, I wonder if they'll kind of use that to their advantage and kind of put him in their hierarchy. Like he'll be full Padre because he doesn't know any better because he lost most of his memory. Because it's been 7 years. That part of him didn't go away. So I'm really interested to see what they do with Daniel, Luciana, Strand. We still got.
I forgot about Luciana.
Yeah, so they didn't get rid of her. They cut out.
I'm surprised they didn't, honestly.
Yeah, because
Last
she
I
ain't got
saw,
much of a story.
Strand jumped in Alicia's raft, and she looked at him, and she was like, "Fuck this," and walked away. Like, I'm not even talking to him. And then Alicia gets out and says, "Nope, you take it. You go ahead. I'm gonna stay here and hallucinate." Yeah.
But that's pretty much what I got. I mean, I imagine Madison's probably gonna link up with Dwight and Sherry since they're now being taken to prison. It looks like.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can start to sort of conspire and break out of that place. I mean, from the trailer, it looks like Madison somehow gets free. It looks like June was fighting back, which is not good for Finch because I don't think she's gonna do the radiation treatment. I think he's a goner. Which is really
I mean, we see him up and about at other points in the trailer, so I don't know, maybe.
Oh, I didn't see it. I only watched it once. It was going quick. I was shocked when I just...
Yeah, it was really quick.
Daniel,
I mean,
so I
Alicia basically inspired June to, do radiation stuff. I'm curious if a focused radiation on the bite area would kill off the virus and not cause enough damage, that...
Well, that's what she tried to do. And it didn't work. That was when the skin was getting somebody had it on their shoulder in the picture because I paused it later on and looked at it. And it's like she focused the treatment there, but then the skin started to burn off. And then after a few days, it started to bubble. And so the radiation was too much. It required too much radiation to stop the
effect. So maybe something more like chemotherapy, which is, yeah, who knows? We'll see.
I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I'm just hoping whatever they do, they handle it well.
Yeah, it has to make sense. Don't
have it retcon everything.
Yeah, I do think that this episode made me more looking forward to the next episode than the last one. The last one was just like, what the fuck are you doing, Morgan? Figure out who you are as a person, because this flip-flopping... what are you going to be like a missionary priest in the next, after the next 2-year time jump?
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But we should wrap it up. I think we've said all there is to say. Thank you everyone out there for watching. Jack, since you got here late, you get to go first and just say goodbye and tell people where to go, jump off a cliff, or whatever you want them to do.
I won't encourage that unless there's water. Then it might be fine. Watch out for rocks, though. Find me Jack's World pretty much everywhere. The uncuts for pretty much everything I've watched are up on Patreon, also Jack's World. And per Governor and Tomaj's advice and busy, I'm going to be trying to get into TikTok more. And hopefully Reels soon, once I can get another account made for that. But be on the lookout for that.
Ms. Kayla?
All right. Y'all can find me on Twitch at Miss Kayla Gaming. I changed my name, like I said. And you can find me on YouTube at Miss Kayla. And currently on Twitch, I am playing Hogwarts Legacy, as y'all can see. Having fun on there doing that. It's really fun. And I haven't really been playing anything else. Like I said, I was going to finish a whole bunch of games on YouTube. But I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy nonstop, pretty much. It's so fun. But that's all I'm doing right now.
Very nice. Tomaj.
Y'all can find me on Big Bro and Little Sis Reacts on pretty much everything. I will be getting my Fear reaction out tomorrow. It's almost done. Still in the editing room. I was on vacation, y'all. But I'm on catch up on things. But y'all know I do tons of shows, starting House of the Dragon, Sons of Anarchy next week, and continuing with my past things. Game of Thrones will continue to be posted on YouTube. It's done on Patreon. But yeah, just you can check my channel for more updates on everything. But yeah, continuing on with everything in the Walking Dead universe as well.
Very nice, very nice. I will not be posting a reaction to Fear the Walking Dead because watching it once is enough. I'm not going to sit there in the editing room and watch it again and again as I'm fixing things. However, let's see, this weekend we're doing a con. Basically, the next 4 weekends, we have con after con after con after con. This weekend is the Geekdom Con, so we'll probably be getting some interviews and panels from there. A lot of anime people, video game people. Week after that is Fan Expo Philadelphia. Definitely getting some interviews. They're very tricky on panels. I'm trying to get at least highlight videos for panels, but we'll see. But hopefully I'll get some good interviews. I've lined up about 6 for Friday. So
Oh, wow.
if we can find the time. And then the week after that is Sci-Fi Valley Con. So we're going to have people like Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche, a lot of voice actor guests out there. And then after that is Awesome Con, which is truly awesome. With and hopefully we'll have panels of Christopher Eccleston, Billy Piper, Jodie Whittaker, just Sean Astin, Elijah Wood, and Andy Serkis will be on one panel. A lot of stuff coming up. And yeah, check us out on TikTok. We got a lot of fun clips on there. Even if I'm not getting paid for them, we're gonna talk about that after we wrap up. But yeah, check out our stuff, and again, congratulations to this week's winner. You'll be getting your 3-pack of prizes sent out, and maybe you'll get last week's prize, and then like the next day the or at least 2 days later the this week's prize. But it's been a lot of fun. Thanks for joining us. We will see you in a week on Monday, the normal time. And Governor and this amazing crew, we are out of here. Wave and look awkward, everybody.
Highly sedated, intoxicated. We're automated and overpopulated. We're all fish in a stream, swimming towards a vicious dream.